Sanje Chudan Zoji Jono no Shanjo Bado Dano Josanje Dog Shinto Jibe Zonam Ji Dola Penja Sanji Jubarajo Sanje Chudan Zoji Jono no Shanjo Bado Dano Josanje Dog Shinto Jibe Zonam Ji Dola Penja Sanji Jubarajo Sanje Chudan Zoji Jono Shanja Bada Dana Jatunje, Daka Shanto Jebe Sonamje, Dola Penjo Sanje and Raba Show. Okay. Good morning again. Some news there? Good. Wonderful to see all of you. Today we can do a little meditation, okay? You do the beginning meditation. You count like from 1 to 20. When you count, you bring in, you follow that. You bring out, you follow that, like that. Also, how much longer? Not just, not like that, just slowly, just very deep. Like that, bring in, out. Also, maybe just close your eyes, because when you open your eyes, you can see things, your mind go that way. And you can't want just count about. Then from 1 to 20, without missing any count, if you mind go away like maybe 5, you count 5, then you remember something, then you have to start again, because your meditation is not good. Therefore, I always mention how to meditate good or bad, how to concentrate that subject. You say, okay, well, I don't want to think about bad things, or my mind's going on different. Then try to stop, doesn't work. Whatever you just do that. Like, when you're driving, you don't want to look at, oh, maybe I'm not a good driver, maybe I'm hit someone, or maybe I'm too far. You're thinking so many that, they also more nervous. You just focus that, hold that, then watch your face, then you don't make any mistakes. Therefore, this is how to meditation, okay? You think, you try to close your eyes, you try meditation, then things come in your mind. You say, oh, I'm not very good meditation, or my meditation not very successful. It's not like that. It never stop, because things come in again, like, how you say the oceans wave? Yeah, one finish, another one coming. Therefore, never stop. You don't have to try to stop things. What is important? Just more focus. What are you doing yourself? Like example, you do some job. Don't do others' business. Just finish your own job. You don't want to go, oh, what he's doing, what she's doing. Are they doing good? They will do that. There's something like that. Then if you do that, you don't finish yourself. You're just looking there. Just you do your job. Just focus that. Then you become perfect. Exactly the meditation, okay? Whenever you do meditation, just to focus that, then other thoughts go away. Because there are no space to come. Okay? Therefore, today we do a little bit, it's a very basic meditation, how to learn. When you bring in, you also, your mindfulness is that. Bring in. No, also, bring in also nose, no mouth. No. Like that. Then you have to also count, keep the count also in your mind. That's 1, not 1, 2, not like that. Bring in, out. Also exhale, inhale, outhale. Do you see like that? No? Don't you moving his mouth.
Exhale.
Okay. Exhale, inhale, yeah. Exhale, inhale. No.
Inhale.
Exhale, inhale, right? Yeah, like that, okay? Exhale, inhale. Or inhale, exhale.
Inhale, exhale.
Inhale, exhale. 1, count 1. From 1 to 20, okay? You want to mala, you can do mala. If you lose the 5, you have to start again, okay? I give you maybe 5 minutes to everyone. I think 5 minutes you can do. Okay, this is you don't have to looking for others. You don't have to, right now the best time to meditation because you're your own bedroom or your living room or your bedroom or your kitchen or whatever you is nobody bothers you. Therefore, this is the best time to class meditation. Okay, everyone got it? You don't have to think any other thing. Just focus. Inhale, exhale, count 1, 20 times. Okay, I will give you when I start this, the start, then I'm do again, then stop. Okay? Everyone ready? Just first time, just be relaxed, okay? Also important to you, just body also make relax. Whatever you're comfortable, otherwise you talk to body very strict, then also your body got hurt and not much, you cannot much, how you say, concentration, okay? Okay, how's it? Who really finished 21? No one finished? If anyone think you're finished, you raise your hand. Looks no one finished. Because I'm too fast or what happened? You just come back again, come back again. This is true to me. Try to practice, okay? This we have to, we have to do like a, how is it, action, okay? It's not easy. It's one hand, it looks like very simple, but it's not easy. Without lose any count, concentration, destroy your mind, because you're very focused that. Okay, this is how to meditation. Do that, okay? Who done like 10? Who think you are done 10?
Yeah, I got to like 12, and then I started thinking about how nice it is to meditate.
Yeah, this is you don't have to think that. You mind go there, you just do other business. You just
I think I
only
did about 20.
Oh, good job. Yeah.
But then my mind started to to go away somewhere else.
Good. Yeah. Do that. Totally. Usually you can do that. Then also come back in. Then again start counting. 1, 2, 2. Okay. This is
Okay.
Okay. Good. Okay. Then also the mindfulness practice. I will show you another technique, okay? Mindfulness, there are also like 4 different ways. Mindfulness for your feeling, mindfulness in your body, mindfulness for your mind, mindfulness for the phenomena. This is like very simple practices. Now today I would like to show you how to do meditation to mindfulness for your feeling. You talk to like this, did I am happy? Did I am sad? Or do I have any feeling? You don't have to think like that, okay? It's sometimes difficult to find the feelings. If you put fingers like that, do you have any feelings? You touch your own finger. Right, you have some finger, right? Then I think try like this. Do you have some different feeling? Right? Then stop, do like this. You have some different feeling, right? Then you touch your own head here. You have some different feeling coming? Even, if I think maybe you have a hair, maybe it doesn't feel. Maybe you don't have a hair. There's just maybe something here. No hair. Maybe you can touch here someplace. You don't have to touch your stone because just connection your skin. You have some different feeling. This is how to, okay? First do like this. Then secondly do like this. Very fast, long. Then stop. Then you can touch here. Maybe, Leonard, can you do unmute yourself? Oh, good. Okay. I'm showing, okay, this is how to exercise. Because otherwise you say, I don't have any feeling. Oh, how can I find, Then you start thinking in here, just your own face. Your mind keep your face. Then start thinking in here. Then start thinking your back. Then you don't have to touch it, but then start you thinking in the chest, how it's a shoulder. Then you think of your chest. Then you think of your back. You might just think of that. I'm sure that time you have any feelings. If you have some happy feeling, just your mind just leave that. Just focus that. If you have some sad feeling, it's okay. You just focus that. If you don't have any feeling also, it's okay for it. But your mind just focus that way. Right? Our feeling is very important because our feeling makes us to happy or unhappy. Right? I think I taught you guys a lot of experience that you guys look no lesson. What kind of feeling you have? Something, something shock, right? He said, oh, maybe I taught you my best. I think maybe you're not too serious. Do you have some feeling like that? Did I say that? I say, this is not true. I'm just trying to make you feel okay. Yeah, I'm just like serious. I just try to, right now you already know I'm joking. Otherwise, I'm just serious. I try to teach you every day, but you guys doesn't follow my what I said, then at the moment you hear the voice, you hear something shock, some feeling, some bad feeling, right? If you see some messages, some good things, or maybe if you hear someone talk about you good, you feel something different feeling, some happy feeling. Therefore, feeling is very important because feeling makes us to lead all different directions, okay? Now, I'm not explaining, just you try to just a couple minutes, not too long, okay? Just first, just hand like this, work without touching you any fingers, what kind of feeling you have. Then touch your 2 fingers, couple seconds, what kind of feeling. Then wrap each other strongly, what kind of feeling. Then stop wrapping, what kind of feeling. We don't touch your 2 fingers, also like cold feeling, something like that. Then you can touch like any skin yourself, what kind of feeling. Then start thinking your face, then head here, back, the 2 shoulders, the chest, then back. Just what kind of feeling you're that. I'm sure you feel something. Maybe you feel some pain. Maybe you feel some itch. Okay? This is also the how to meditation, the easiest way to feeling meditation. The 4 different mindfulness. Okay? Okay? You ready? Better to close your eyes. Otherwise, you see, your mind go that way. You cannot focus. Okay? Therefore, I'm not talking when you do that. I'm not doing anything for you. Just you can close your eyes, do your own exercise. Okay? Okay. Which one was more easy? The breathing meditation or just try to find your feeling? Which one more easy?
Read the breathing.
This one was
Breathing is easy.
Feelings,
Do you have
feelings
some
are
any-
easy.
feeling.
Now try to use this meditation. Okay, that's how to meditate. You have to do exercise, not just okay, maybe like that, not like that. Just try to that. Okay. This is try to most easiest way to meditation, because those things are our mind put the balance, to basic balance. Otherwise, our mind become too many things. The most important things when you do meditation, you think, oh, I'm not very good meditation, or my meditation is not strong enough. You think that, but you're not meditation. You're just analytical. Then you focus meditation. You just try to focus anything what you're doing. You focus that, then your mind doesn't destroy. Like when you have who knows to ride the bicycle? How you say, motorcycle. The fast ones. You need to very focus. You go to highway. Maybe there's a lot of traffic. Everyone wants to go to 80 miles an hour. Then you go in that. You have to very concentration, right? That, like example that. If you're very concentration, that you don't do the accident. Exactly like that. Any jobs you need to very something like who's the person to like mix the chemicals to like science. Bob, are you do some chemical mix? No, right? Like you go to the hospitals, the science place. They the kids they do some fix, all different things. Put the glass there. They have to very focus that, because if small mistake, then they're big. They're missing their whole job. Like that, if you very focus any kind of what you're doing, that this is how to meditation to practice. Therefore, we focus on compassion, bodhicitta, loving kindness, impermanence, emptiness. But in order to that, we have to bring some easy ones. Then your mind already practice how to learn to strong that. Then you can do any kind easy. Okay. This is how to. Right now we are all the home. When you do have some time practice, then you can do some meditation. Just try to simple way. You don't have to think very, how you say, high levels. Okay. I always say the purpose, practice, study Buddhism is to happy mind. Right? Therefore, like that. This is how to meditation, okay? Then next time I will teach you how to meditation for the mind. Today we just gone, the feeling. Sometimes we don't find a feeling. If you don't find any feeling, it's okay. You have cold feeling, it's okay, just focus that. You have sad feeling, it's okay, just focus that. Because also you very focus that, they will go away. They're not however that, okay? Okay. Then my English finish. 아니 다 전에다 가상도 다제 냠제기 로장한테 마 로드게와.
So we're studying about the equalizing and exchanging self with others, right?
제가 다 시당 상적을 셈 깨달았다 아니 용라신에서 아니 제세 뭐 조직을로다 제세 뭐 샤워를로다 조직을로 세다 말아니 시작을 해들어.
So there's two different way of generating bodhicitta. So they call it the system of Lama Tisha and the system of the Shantideva.
아니 다 조직을로 되다 전제명아 dengue 거는 아니 상적 셈 깨달다래. 제세 뭐 샤워를 제세 뭐 샤워를로다 다 다제 냠제고는 로장다래.
So the Lama Tisha's system, is to develop the bodhicitta through sevenfold cause and effect instruction, and the great Bodhisattva Shantideva's system, is to develop bodhicitta through equalizing and exchanging self with others.
어제 다들 간지 아니 달로 가래간이 용와인바이나 아니 맛이 전제 주소 영어 샴바바도 바지 집하고거든 이자라고 있어래스.
So whichever way you develop the bodhicitta, and you do need the beginning part of recognizing all sentient beings as your mother, and remembering their kindness, and wishing to repay their kindness.
그래와 다 드니가 아니 로드 제발라 담보 로드 따뇽 요보지 검고 그래 따뇽.
And in order to develop such kind of mind, first you have to develop equanimity.
다 따뇽 검다데 단 라므라 뭐보래 다 가서 고대원도 하셨나 다 심제 참아 가든 가라다비 대원도 누가면도 침소래라고 텐데게 따뜻이 삼도나 릭되게 여러분.
So there are many ways, to equalize or meditate on equanimity. So in brief, you should be just be able to see all sentient beings equal to oneself, just like one wishes to be happy and do not wish any suffering. All other sentient beings are same or equal in wanting to be happy and not wanting any suffering.
다 텐데게 지금 안에 소소 용어로 대바이나 아니 다 텐데게 아니 semje tsamba chiba maze ani semje tsamba soso la kade chewo tsende ama naji kade chembore sambe tende samse chi komko yores.
So once one has found out that everybody is equal to oneself in that way, then you should start to think like not only that they are all same as myself, but they all have been my mother.
제가 두 전에 다 안에 소소 la pene kade chembore ba 아니 지금 간지 참바 소소라 까지 쳔보 텐디 아마다 까지 쳔보네서 저 참바 소소 아마나지 까지 쳔보래 텐데 지 쌈네 다 간지 가세 톱톱식 샘나치 용화로 초화로 말해 봐 공부 그래서.
And then think about the kindness of the mother, all sentient beings when they've been your mother, just like the mother of this life has been very kind to you by giving birth, raising, and so forth. The other sentient beings also have been very kind to you at the time when they have been your mother, and not only at that time but also at other time they have been very kind to you. So think about the kindness of all sentient beings. So think about that or meditate on that till you get that feeling that they're very kind to you.
다 텐데게 셰셰나 아니 다 마시지 텐데지 다 준소 아니 다 샘진다 다 탐지 아니 대화다 되지 동화다 잡이 탑지 가린 게고 말하는 제통나 텐데로 삼고 요사레스.
And then as you think about their kindness more and more, then stronger your thought on their thinking about their kindness, and that much more you will have wish to repay their kindness, right? So when you have the wish to repay their kindness, then you think about how can I repay their kindness. And so the best way is to to bring them happiness and to eliminate their suffering. So how do I do that? How can I do it? And how can I myself eliminate their suffering? How can I myself bring them to happiness?
아니 텐데 마치 텐데 주소치 아니 대신에 아니 영웅 샤바자야 돼 텐데잖아 아니 섬제다 지금 대화다 된다 그로 슈침보 그런 당한 거였어 봐.
So when you have that wish, then wishing them to be happy, right? Wishing them to have happiness. More you think about that, then more love you will have towards them. And so that's the affectionate love or our mind wishing for them to be happy.
아니 되네 아니 단다 조지 뒤로라 아니 이제 좀 되네 다 대마다 대화다 다 등아 아니 지금 다 걔가 나중 고외 등하다 등하다 참아 참아로 선배 된게로 슈침보 제한 거더라.
And then, then with that, then also develop the strong wish, wanting them to be free from suffering. So thinking that may they be free from suffering. How wonderful it would be if they are free from suffering. And that's our compassion.
아니 테네시나 티질라타 텐데 대화다 데마 동화다 하라랑가 제고도 선배다 소소건 개개발 학섬사도 되나. 그래서
Not just wishing them to be happy and wishing them to be free from suffering, but thinking that I myself will bring them to the state of happiness. I myself will eliminate their suffering. So taking the responsibility upon oneself, to do so. So that's called the superior intention.
그래서 텐데게 곰네타 아니 샘진 가르진 통화에 나타는데 대화다 데마 동화다 트라는 걸로 즉 뭐도 샘진은 통화담지 텐데게로 슈침보 슈슈고 찍게 된 것이 정화였나? 아니 장침 샘지 와레스.
Awesome.
라섬 제사서 라섬 되게 당가랑 갱코기 텐데 라섬 다 대체에서 왜질라 다 텐데게 대화다 데마 동화도 체다 당가랑 가지 상지 공부 토고고도 삼성부 텐데게 직 뇨 잡아르지 샘지 초아시 상자던 제버레스.
And then, so when you have that very strong wish, thinking of taking the responsibility upon oneself to eliminate their suffering and to bring them to the state of happiness, then you think about how to do that. And the only way to do that is if you become Buddha. And then wishing to achieve state of full enlightenment or wishing to become a Buddha in order to eliminate their suffering, in order to bring them to the state of happiness. And so when you have developed that thought very strongly, spontaneously, then you have developed bodhicitta.
제가 연락 비슷한데 이번에 전에 간지 수술 빼나 문된 처만처럼 릴리 바빠져 가지고 கொஞ்சம் 추워지 내고서 사람들이 전에 텔레다 샤좀 깨고
So that feeling, of wanting to do so, has to be very strong, so strong that tears will come out of your eyes, and then your the hairs on your body will stand up, or like goosebumps. You have that. So that kind of strong feeling, you have to get. So until you have to meditate, until you get that kind of strong feeling.
안에 되네 저 샤좀 삼바차서 말해.
So when you have that kind of strong feeling, like so strong that you get tears from your eyes and goosebumps in your body, then you have the generated bodhicitta, and then you have become bodhisattva.
제가 된지 있잖아 아니 소수 동안도 셔라 가로 소수 동안고 소소셔라 내지도 말해 간다.
And when you have that kind of very strong thought towards others, and your thought towards yourself will be very minimal, and therefore whatever harm comes to you will not bother you so much.
제가 단단한도 소수 강에 샘치되고 소소라 쇼 동안 땅도
So right now, our suffering bothers us so much, because we are all very strongly thinking about that, thinking about oneself, and therefore our sufferings, our difficulties bother us so much.
어디 되네죠. 어디지. 다 되네 아니 대 아니 단다 다지 가로 아니 내 마음이 이거는 로자들에서 아니 다 되네 아니 대 맞아지 젬바드 제나 아니 마시 텐데 투소 요거 샤바 파르고 다 되네 아니 다 다제냠지가 로도 쇼치고 않고 잘했어.
And so this is the way you generate bodhicitta, through sevenfold cause and effect instruction. And then the other way, is equalizing and exchanging self with others. So in that way, of course, it's the same at the beginning, where you develop equanimity, and then recognize all sins being as your mother, and then remember their kindness and wish to repay their kindness, and affectionate love. So up to that is all same.
어제 다 아니 다 다제냠지로 대 시다 단데는 마 만보인 거래. 아니 자세 진보 시발레네 되는 마치 아니 조지라 아니 양양하지 아니 조지라 다 다제냠지다 샤지 얘네 명가 된거 로존이가 시다 다 냠네 니절 상겨로 조지라.
So actually, Lama Zopa has both traditions or systems of developing bodhicitta, the sevenfold cause and effect instruction, and also the equalizing and exchanging self with others. So they all came down through different teachers, and all the way down to Lama Zopa.
이나 다 다제냠지 고닐로 조한테 룩슈체잖아. 룩슈체 니바체. 아니 제가 대 강사 원본 노보 아니 맨나 아니 로데 장토요 말에.
And the way to develop bodhicitta through equalizing and exchanging self with others is more courageous in the way to develop bodhicitta. So it's aimed for the more sharp faculty and practitioners.
제가 대비 제대로 쇼주는 거요. 강시 다다 연남지 녀도 잡안도 바데 다다 연데 제자와 삼회 담바이 쇼브라샤. 제가 삼회건 제고래서 강 삼회가 제 말에서
And also in the Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life, it is mentioned that this practice of developing bodhicitta through equalizing and exchanging self with others, or cherishing others more than oneself, is to be practiced secretly. So that means individually, not to be exposed to the public.
And that they are payment Nibachembores, Nibachembo Vegetarana, Jite Dewachinyaba take a gender deletions, Jite Dumajima take around the deletions. Kajan Jitela Devaka, you bother to Jantana Shomare, Janatan Yongore, Dumaka, you bother any Tasso Santa Teleshon,
And such practice is very powerful as well. Why it is very powerful is because all the happiness in the world comes from wishing others to be happy. and all the sufferings in the world comes from wishing oneself to be happy.
다 나중에 아니 저 마다 시비 지지고 시와는 것도 통화 타바지 있더니 되는지 잡았대요. 시와는 안 들어고 그래서 안도다 산지 좀은 지어라대 다 마보시고 말이 코니 지어지 다 나스 오토소 말아.
And also followed by that, what is this? What need is there to say so much? Just look at the difference between the able ones or the Buddha and the childish, which is us, the ordinary beings. And so just look at the difference of these two.
다 나지 나대 전지 둥하다 다다 전지 둥하다 안에 양다 제와 맞나 산지 도고라 산지 맞는 코발라에 대와만 코발라 내그런 코발라는 대와고 말해서 어때 스타트도 쇼주 나는 소요레스.
So also it says if we do not exchange well, the exchange here is exchanging the suffering and happiness, right? So taking the suffering of others upon oneself and giving one's happiness to others, so exchanging this. If we don't do this exchanging well, then we will not be free from cycle existence, we will not achieve the state of full enlightenment.
오다 다든도 쇼주로 두 전에 다 간지 쇼주 마전에 조지가 아니 좀 때발아서 아니 좀 때발라 아니 까자마세 간지 아니 티세 잡니 미사말이야 시에 맞춰도 소샤에서 왔어.
And then, so this tradition, of developing bodhicitta, followed, by the Shantideva's way system, came down all the way to Lama Atisha, and then from Lama Atisha, it was given down to Domtempa, and then during Domtempa's time, when he gave it, Domtempa's time, it was sealed. And sealed means, like it was, made a promise not to, give it to others in public.
어디 전에다 좀 때문에 저던 람름 그 소주도 조지가 람름 그 소주도 다 지다 통마라 라시아지 아니 단다 다시 냠지가 로자한테 다 가상원에 다 개투 야가야 좀 시에서 말아 되는 아니 좀 때봐라 아니 좀 때문에 가로 보도가 소마이 말해.
And then, so during the Domtemba's time, when he was giving teaching on the Lam-rim, and when it comes to the point of developing bodhicitta, where he's giving instruction to how to develop bodhicitta, he teach the sevenfold cause and effect instruction to the public, and then the system of developing bodhicitta through equalizing and exchanging self with other was given only to his secret more closest disciples. And so from Domtempa it was passed down to Geshe Potawa.
아니 게시 보도에 양 코란 걸로마 야수 아니 게시 라라타마 로주 특이마 성가다나 게시 샤라바도 코니가 나서서 봤어. 근데 지금님이 저 남겨서 말아.
And Geshe Potawa also passed it down to his closest disciple, Geshe Sharawa and Geshe Chekawa.
아니 전에 아니 게시 샤라베 아니 콩글로마 샤지도 있다. 아니 게시 체카와 게시 체카와 대 나와 있어.
And so Geshe Sharawa, and also from both Potawa to Sharawa and then Sharawa to Chekawa.
아니 다 계신 체크업에 아니 값네 아니 마다데 내가 담아 야본데 지 안도시 샤샤나 되고 뭐도 삼네 아니 마다 통하라 마 퍼블릭에 소한테 좀 하더라고 근데 아니 로조 된다 마스 좀
And then it was during the Geshe Chekawa's time that he felt it was so precious, it couldn't be kept secret. It should be shared, with others in public. So then from there on, then it came out to the public, and that's when he composed the teaching on the 7-point thought transformation.
아니 니마치 된다 아니 계신 체크업에 아니 계신 라라타베 소로 좀 특히 많이 왔어. 캐다 약간이나도 정다라 가면 되는 지어서 왔다. 된거는 연하면은 좀데 계신 체크업하다 아니 라라타바니 제가 대체적인 레벨급라야 아니 계시 라라타바 공부 조사받지 아니 계시 체크아웃은 제도 제지 다디 추스다 녀데베 깔라야 계시 체크아웃에 단다 로브종 코드 chen 소문도 아니 다네 코드 도와 다들 빠지 여사 말에 삼네 아니 코코라자로 되고 깔라 아니 계시 아니 체크아웃 와 계시 라라타바 페버레스
중앙동 공부 조사.
너도 샤라바 기샤라바 기샤라바 아는 꼬라페 와 아니 가 들어가지 아니 저랑 도와가는 아니 근데 계단자까지는 좋다 보가란 걸 애들이 쓰시기도 안 그런데 소주는 대충 소마 소스 근데 요르다 요 말에서 아니 딱 계제트 버렸어 아니 근데 요르는 아니 그런 게 주기도 봐대 데이터를 주잖아 아니 근데 마 아니 디콜마 안에 로저도 소전에 다 샹체서 다니 아니 기시 체크와 또 다니 노로 체크와 어다 샹체서 다니 아니 공고진에 맞다 로저도 맞지는 맞다 용나 좀 어떠네 사례.
And so it was Geshe Chekawa, who came in, contact with this teaching on the on the 8 verses of mind training, which was composed by Geshe Langtangpa. And then in that verse, it caught him so much, particularly with this verse, where he says, "Offer all the victories and profits to others, and take all the losses to upon oneself, also the losses and defeats upon oneself." He says, "This is so courageous mind, and how can we do that? Is it really possible to do it? Is there such kind of practice or no?" So he wanted to find out. So he went to look for Geshe Langtangpa, and then he found that Geshe Langtangpa has already passed away. And then his disciple Geshe Sharawa was giving teaching at that time, and then he went to listen to Geshe Sharawa's teaching. And during the teaching, Geshe Sharawa didn't mention about anything about the mind training. He gave other teachings on bodhicitta, but he didn't mention about the mind training teachings at all. And then later he went to have a private audience with Geshe Sharawa and asked him, he says, "I was listening to your teaching, but during that time you didn't mention anything about the mind training at all. And I was caught up by this verse by Geshe Langtangpa. It says, offer all the victories and profits to others and take all the defeats and lose upon oneself. So is there such things like that or no?" And then he says, "Yes, there is." And then this is given to the only specific disciples, therefore it's kept in secret. And then right then Geshe Chekawa took off his upper robe and then made it like a cushion for Geshe Sharawa, and then asked Geshe Sharawa to take a seat and give him this teaching. And so he received teaching from Geshe Sharawa on the mind training. And then from there on, he thought this is very helpful. And if it can be helpful to me, then it can be also helpful to so many other people. So therefore, it should be taught, to the public. And then from there on, and then I think the mind training teaching on the 7-point thought transformation came about.
다 대오 들리지네. 내전에 다 가는 마 용라진에 차지. 아니 도제 팔롬단다야다. 아니 매 주주 매기 제시단다와다. 근데 빼만 보지네. 다 가지 단 니바침을 그렇게 잘했어.
And so like that, this teaching was passed down, and these teachings are so powerful. This teaching, the method of this practice is so powerful. It was exemplified, with the diamond, with the medicinal tree and so forth.
제가 안에 라면 사이트에 당가지 도그리 차다 그 소진한 도구를 봤어요. 하나 중에 시금 맨신 사이트 맨신 신추주 되게까지 내 마음보지 세트로 봐. 하나지 님의 고색은 잠블리가 가지 좀 뭔박한 거 같아도 된지 빼잖아요. 아니 된지가 나중에냠지로 되게 섬제 참이지 아니 딱 그러고 다 동안 매가서도 그래 해서 내지는 송월다.
So just like the diamond, outshines all other jewelers, and then the medicinal tree, which produces the medicine, can overcome all the diseases or poisons. And also it's also example given example and apply the example of the rays of the sun. The rays of the sun that dispels all the darkness in the world, just like that. So when this teaching of equalizing and exchanging self with others is practiced, and it will bring light in the life of the practitioners, and will eliminate all the suffering, outshine all other practices.
어떻게 다 로조 돈도 마세 도도라고 전에 아니 다 돈세 되라고네 아니 다 검자고 그랬어.
And so from there then came the teachings on the 7-point and thought transformation, and that's divided into 7 points and meditated.
어디 다 저도 다시 대마자고 다 얼마 선이가 로조 돈도 마대 아니 빼자 명세 가가 따먹어 지가도 내레레지나 곰잡네 다 곰대 잡 아니 가도 냠는 시간이다.
And so now we're going to be discussing on, as you might have found out, that we're going to be discussing on 7-point thought transformation. We don't have to go through exactly like it is in the text, but we'll cover all the 7 points and spend time on meditating on each point.
그리고 배나 다 겐로 추디 배나 로조 된데 맞지도 하고 겐로 땡지 추된 바세요. 다 고는 겐로 세대레스. 아니 로조 맞으면 근데 가리 배상접서 먹으면 근데 가리 제고 그래 세대레.
And how do we do?
어디 배셔는 문제야 돼. 그 파이 마음모쇼 잠되셔. 근데 딱 곤로스나 딱 상접서 먹으면 근데 곤로 다리 가리 제고 그래 세대레다.
And so for the actual practice, there has to be always preparation, right? The preparatory practice, we call it preparatory practice, to prepare you to be able to do the actual practice. You know? And so what kind of preparatory practices do you have to engage in order to actually practice, you know, the equalizing and exchanging self with others?
다 티나라야 사제 티나라야 몸보여. 다 띵아도 슈무거지. 아니
So there are many divisions, you know, to that, but we don't have to go through all, you know, all of them.
아니 다 텔리치나 자리치셔서 아니 이제 샤집서 근데 간에 공고 그래서 지금 이 바들에서
And then once you have done the preparation, you know, preparatory practices, then how do you engage in the actual practice, you know, of developing the bodhicitta?
대충조다 조서 마치 고를 와서 대이 바들지 다 텔리 샤집서 공백하려 지나 깽에도 바치대로 저는 쭉 가르치고 그래서 지금 샤집을 이제 와서 이래서
And then, and at the time, you know, when you're doing this practice, if you face with the difficulties or obstacles, now how do you, transform those difficulties or adverse conditions into a path, you know, to develop bodhicitta?
아니 되네지 다 소소 몇세 찍은라 냠내 가르치고 그래서 돼 아니 시와들이
And then how do you, you know, apply all these practices in your lifetime, in one lifetime? So that's the fourth point.
아니 시와 다 나와도 다 저런 것들 로조진데 저런 거야 저렇게 근데 로조인데 다 로데 께 새로 가려요 그래서 로조가 새새들이 근데 저런 거 가로 다들 로 저런 거 로조요 다 가려서 돼
And then after that is the criteria, you know, of having developed, you know, the bodhicitta, or having developed the mind training.
그렇지 다 들리지 다 들리고 로조도 수수절이야 깨서나 아니 야한테 많이 수수 감세로 가르쳐 온 거고 그래서 가르치고 그래서 두 받으러
So that's the criteria of having, you know, trained your mind, right? So having trained your mind, and then once you have trained your mind, you know, how do you maintain it, you know, so that it doesn't decrease or decay? And in order to do that, so you have to keep the vows, you know. So then there's the precepts, you know, and advices. So the mind training precepts.
다 들리 아니 감세 다 되죠 아니 다 아니 지금 야 로종 랍자도 가르쳐 냠내 제거를 랍자 가르요 그래서
So that is to, you know, stop you from decreasing, you know, or degenerating the mind training practice. And then in order to increase it even furthermore, you know, what kind of advices there are. So then it talks about the advices, you know, for mind training.
보다 로조 된데 마세 되래 로조 된데 마세 되래 로조
7 points of thought transformation.
아니 다뒤 콜라야 다 배경 개파 마보고 사와 특제진에 마보 당세 되는데 마보요
And of course, there are many commentaries, you know, commentated by different scholars, you know, of Tibetans.
제가 다 나도 되는 마지 된도 그 아니 삼도 빼샤랑 그러더나요 도도 루에 말아봤는데 나 선생님도 갈래 근데 데레레 콜라야 아니 삼도 다니 들으시는 공작이 진동이다.
And so there are many points like this, you know, so we don't have to go through each and every word in the text, but we'll cover all the points, you know, and you know, spend time doing meditation on each point.
근데 지나서는 단다 람름 가도 람들 하시는데 막 지나서 소소 록지 아니 록이 하마고 얘는 좋아 야 도바사는 먼저 좋아지네 아무도 봐서 론이 지나 쓰고 자로
But of course, you know, you can read it every, you know, word in the text. So, you know, if you have a time, you know, read it yourself. And if there's any questions, if you don't understand anything or you have any doubts, then you can ask question, you know, in the class.
다 도체는 근데 지나도 곰자기 자기 빼셨다기 따기로나 아니 가지고 빼셨다서 왜질랑아도 빼셨다 봐 솔 봐 샤네 곰자나 소소 세마 삼부터 용래
So while studying, you know, if we also, you know, do the practice, then it will stay better in our mind, right? And then if, you know, after you finish the text, and when you leave the text outside, And you can still think about it. You can think about all the topics because we have done the practice, right?
And then 남중어도 로브종 제단을 지 만보지 대시다 로브종 제단 만보요래요. And then 로브종 제단 찌라다 소리고 로브대 랑간 대시 샤니다 지고 로브종 제단 찌요래. 다 로브종 지다 로브종의 제네 대수수 섬게라 파 자당 로브종이요래. 제단 이제 가게 된 바이래야. 당봉어도인데 배샤 트백값이 나리 소속이 년백값이 나리 소속 데블로 록지 대질러 대차와다 샤마샤와지 뎁카잡 야만 로브종 배샤 니한테 년답죠 양주된 걸만 다봐 가사마 소속이 진 삼로지 따네 소속 대지 가로 단 죽도록 지고 그랬어. 그 유유식.
So, of course, there are many different ways you can study. So I think it's better if you study and then practice, at the same time, or soon after you study. Of course, you have to understand, and to do so, you have to understand. You have to study. After you study, you understand, and then you don't just leave it on the side. But do the review, of the studies that you have done, and then contemplate and meditate as well. And that way, then you don't forget, what you have studied. Otherwise, if you just study and then don't do anything and then move ahead and then study next and then first what you have studied will be forgotten again. So that way it will not stay in your mind.
제가 아무는 가도 뎁트 가디는 가도 냠도 그래. 뎁 나라야 빼제고 류다 레파다 되는 뭐 아니 가도 삼는 가도 삼토 말아.
And then that way you can also remember the topic. So even though you don't remember each and every word, but you remember the main point of that topic, right? Because you have done practice and you have familiarized your mind with that. And so that way you can also remember, what it's talking about. Otherwise, you have to keep the book, you have to carry the book with you all the time. So every time you think about something, then you go, oh, what is it talking about? Then you have to go back to the book and read it.
맨날 데리러 왔다 데리간도들 마치시에 봐. 단대 저거 청행이라도 곰자다 지지다. 캔사오시 지시에 봐. 운종어 곰당당 아니 수수 소화 곰당 지시에 봐. 다 데리시에 다 저도 데리님에 가나테 텔라서 선부처는 마땅하지 로셔나 산이 저도 제사를 삼때인데 내가 말해. 다 둔둔 데리고나 만약에 수수 뒤셔나 맨날 디곰이 소소가 엑서사이즈 지잖아. 아니 산이 나니 코스마야고 되는 거래.
So just like I have taught you today how to do two kinds of meditation, peculiar meditations, like maybe you have of doing meditation on the mindfulness of feeling, and how do you develop the feeling and then concentrate on that or focus on that, right? And so right, you did it now. You have some understanding, some ideas, some experience, but if you just leave it there now, then you will forget it. But instead, if you go back, when you go back, then think about that again, and then do it yourself. Also, you review on that, revisit to that practice again, and then that way it will stay in your mind. Otherwise, tomorrow, then you will be, you will forget it, and next week by this time it will be all gone.
제가 아무래도 저 저도 진짜 저도 때 지어야래. 제네 거 다른 쇼가 샤샤래. 나도 라레마다 거 더더 니마지 거 쇼도 괜히 유샤래와.
Or maybe you have taken a note, when I explained that, and then maybe it's written in it's in your note, maybe, But if you don't practice, it will be only in the note, And then someday it will be very old that you think, oh, it's trash, and then you put it in a paper recycle, and then it will go on that way.
제가 빼잖아 돈을 데리고 나서도 많이 예서가나 개요만 예서는 저 예지 이 마크 지iten로나 아니 도시 곰잡더라고 코니 다 하나 데리 강한 저 엑서사이즈 제다 아니 코 세미나 롬도 그랬어.
And so instead, if you go back, when you go back, not right away, but later in the evening or night, even after you have lied down on your bed, you can think about this. You can think and you can do the feeling on your finger or on your head or whatever part of the body that you want to touch, to develop that feeling, and then think about while lying down. You can think on that, and then concentrate, try to focus on that feeling. You can do that.
제가 야 기실라게 많이네 곰자도 대마삼지 당니 저도 직가로 막 곰나 많이나 저도 곰자 요래서 그랬다.
So not saying that you can meditate while sleeping, but of course you can still meditate. You can meditate also while sleeping. It doesn't mean that you have to meditate, when you are sleeping, but you can also do meditation while sleeping, while going to bed, before you go to bed, before you fall asleep.
지난 삼성관도 아니 곰자와 리나나고 추드는 곰자고 서마다 다 대제마도지 아니 지오 마치 하루도 되는 마모용도 와.
So, otherwise, if you try to follow the strict posture of meditation, like where you adapt the 7 postures of Vairochana to do the meditation, that's of course very good way to do. But you're not able to do that all the time, right? So then, when you can't do that, then you don't meditate at all. Then you lose the meditation. But of course, if you can do that way, that's the best. But you can also meditate in different postures, different position also. Even while lying down in the bed, you can still meditate. So that way, at least you get the meditation done.
Okay, 어때지? 이제 다 단단 로브종을 배나 로브종을 당아 맹아 용도도 빼셔냈다. 주도 빼셔나 강아 동거야 되나. 빼셔 마다네 저 로토마 시에서는 것도 빽깔 카워를 것도 시토 말에.
So all these instructions are written in the book, and you can see it. So it's only in the book, it's not in your mind. So if somebody were to ask you about these points, then you will not have anything to tell or explain about it.
제가 누치는 탐정도 누치 삼도 알아. 다 배나 데리러 왔나 단다로 왔나 배나. 단다가도 까마까지 곰자가다. 단데 고니 게 강셔 지나도 소소가 가고. 양주 소소 썸로라 마 직직 콜더 가로 징징 콜더라 간에 되게도 진짜다.
So now we're going to do a little bit of meditation on focusing on the explanation that went through today. So what did Geshe talk about? This, and just revisit all those instructions that Geshe just gave to you today, this morning.
디나네 지나도 나네 피 내가 도도로 쓰래. 아까 이 찍지를 이거 하려면 디나 뭔가 도도로 쓰래도 그랬어.
So not every word, each and every word that Geshe mentioned, but just the meaning, the main points of what Geshe talked about. So just think about that.
제가 탱아도 소소고 샘라 빨라 스킨 제토나 아니 그 가디나 되게 그래. 왔을 때는 빼 때보고 되게.
So you think about that now, it becomes fresh in your mind now. And then later you think about that again, it becomes more fresh. And then that way, 1 or 2 times you repeat, then it will stay in your mind very firmly.
제장도 투베 뜨무면서 룸에죠. 꿈몰라서 먼저 너지 촉세지. 어때? 당근 꾸막해 요말 데블라나 산이 데블라나 저나 폰나 트레나 폰 딜레제잖아. 저나 라요 말 샘라 스캔 제타로.
And so just like it is said that study, is the light, that dispels the darkness of ignorance, and it is the best of the wealth, for it cannot be stolen by others. Like that. So if you have kept in your mind, like that, then nobody can steal it. You don't forget it. You keep in your mind. Nobody can steal it. If it's in the book, something happens, to your book tomorrow, it get burned or stolen, then it will be gone. You will not have it. But if you have it in your mind, it will stay there all the time.
어제다 이막 가르쳐야 곰자탄으로 니지 디걸라 아니 마시텐데 주도 요거죠 아니 진행마가 된데 셔도 대접 디걸마 아니 로조 된데는 것도 만드시는 직접 아 로조 된데 맞으면 내라 디가 로조 집바용도 직시해 봐 도도 로조 되지 요와.
So the main points, like earlier I talked about how to meditate on breathing, and then after that how to meditate on the feeling, and then after that we talked about the 7-fold cause and effect instruction. And then after that, we talked a little bit about the equalizing and exchanging self with others, and the lineage, for how it came down. And then the Shantideva's way of developing bodhicitta to equalize and exchange self with others, and how did that lineage of the teaching, especially the mind training, came down to the public like that.
아니 로조 된데 만드시자 봐 미다 따 봐.
And then after that, then I went through the 7-fold, 7-point thought transformations, right? So this is the first point, second point, third point, like that. I went through the briefly, on those 7-point mind trainings.
제가 따뜻해져서 놀라 마타와 제네 수수 삼라 마테시 샬금 테마 카셰지 제토와이나 아니 콜로야고 되는 거죠.
So without looking at your note, just do a glance meditation on that a couple of times.
아니 가서 맞잖아요. 놀았다야. sometimes 놀치보다는 데 something 롤 대마트나 아니 평음도.
So if you can't remember all the points, when trying to do this glance meditation, then of course you can refer to the note. Okay, what was it talking about? Look at the note, and then think about that again. If you just leave it on the note, it will be only on the note. But if you don't think, and just leaving the knot, it will be only on the knot. So think about it.
Okay, 당도 까마 줄인데, 자 까마 주샤긴데, 단다 주주도 까마 가스레셔.
Nishsama.
유당하래도 아니 주주의 체가 주주의 까마 수 성화 봐인다.
So yeah, just
Okay.
glance through that, okay?
10 minutes.
For 10 minutes. We're going to do a meditation for that on that for 10 minutes. So it is like 11, 23, 24. So we're going to do for another 10 minutes. So 34, 35.
Okay. Okay. How do you memorize? Okay, any questions? This is a how to meditation also, try to keep things your mind. Otherwise, your book, close your book, your mind just blank. This tomorrow I say again, oh yeah, Geshe said yesterday. Yeah, he said yesterday. Oh, he said many times that. Therefore, this is also try to not just bring the word by word, the try to meaning. You can just put your own like a small note, or you can note some more mind, not the paper. Okay, first like that, the second like that. Then you can keep every day a little bit exercise, that will stay however. Okay, any questions? No questions?
I have a question. Just about do you know what century it was that the Lam-rim was first given as a teaching? What year
Oh,
was it?
I don't remember, yeah.
You don't know? Okay.
You can go to the Google, you'll find that. I don't
Okay.
know what it is.
Okay.
Okay, any questions? Look, you guys very
Hi.
quick. Yes.
So are the meditation throughout the day is trying to keep the 7 points in mind, or how should we practice
Can you say again? We couldn't hear.
I said the practice we try to do as much as possible, and then throughout the day we just try to keep like in mind, like while walking or like working, etc.
No, you don't have to meditation. You're walking, doing things all the time like that.
Okay.
Like example, we have said we have to take care of our health, right? You need to keep your healthy body. Then we are doing the normal things, but doing within that also we taking care of our body. Otherwise, we say, okay, walking, running, eating, sleeping, everything. I want to check my body, not like that. You can whatever you do activities, keep in, keep watching like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
그래서 난 내도 시다 안에 샘나 공부했나 아니 그 가디나 샘 되대 그러봐. 아 잠시 못 옆 안못 잠시 안못. Yeah.
If you are accustomed with this thought, then it will stay in your mind all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Just more familiar with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, more
Okay.
familiar makes best.
Okay.
Also not try to too serious to or 그리고 야 나주 전에 야 샘나 감달라야 돼. 야 샘나 지 마치 같은데 제요 말이야.
Yeah, so you shouldn't like stress yourself too much, to do that. Otherwise, you will get stress again. That's not good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jack.
Okay.
Geshe, I have a simple question about the meditation on feeling, with the fingers and the skin. Is the object of that sensations, just body sensations, sense sensations, or is it also emotional feelings?
가서
feeling sad, feeling.
Yeah, any kind of feeling, any kind doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It can be body sensations, can be emotion.
근데 소소 티가 소화 가래나 소화된 것이 봐지 소화들 샘때네 되고.
So yeah, any kind of feeling, you just have to recognize that feeling. And once you have recognized the feeling, then just stay your mind on that feeling as long as possible. So it's like you're holding a cup in your hand, then you keep on holding it and not letting it fall down like that. So just keeping your mind, holding on that thought or feeling.
제가 누인들 잘라 몸보이나 나내 주위마다 그 라바 가려요나 다른 전에 그 앵고시와 섬에 되다 온다.
It's just like you have so many things on your table, and then you recognize one thing, and then you just grab on it, and then you just keep on holding on it.
쟤는 누인들 잘라 몸보이다. 대 전도 통도돼야 돼. 내 마음도
On my table.
대요래. I have so many things. So I just whatever I just grab that, just hold like that. I just say, oh, I don't want that. I want it. Oh no, I don't want that. Not like that. Sad feeling, good feeling. If not feeling is okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Just like that. Because just like that, slowly, because it makes your mind stable with you. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Geshe. That's clear.
Okay, Jennifer.
Thank you, Geshe. A question on this, the second point of the 7-point mind training, developing bodhicitta. Would that then be specifically the exchanging, equalizing, exchanging self with others? You wouldn't use the other technique at that point, or could you use both?
So
when you're generating bodhicitta through this through the equalizing and exchanging with others.
No, so in the 7 points of the 7-point mind training, the second point would be generating bodhicitta. At that point, are you only using the equalizing and exchanging self with others method?
Yeah, that they probably tell already.
Yes.
Yeah. That they daje nyamje ko lo jang ta ta lo jong se na lo de kari jong de na daje jeni some to jiwo jares.
Yeah, so in the mind training, that's how you train your mind, changing oneself with others.
And the ko sam da jam nga pen nga jen de jiwo jayo mar was.
It's the thought, it's the thought that's you are changing, not a person, not like you becoming other and other becoming you, not like that.
So nga jen de ko lo lo siro de jiwo mar.
So that would be a wrong mind if you were to do that, right? That's because that's not possible. So that would be a wrong mind.
다 당나도 그는 간도 랑 제버데 제 야와 돌세죠. 제 야와 돌고 다 보면 유샤와 개마다 간지 라다 제니잖아 랑 제버데 제데도 슈체요레스.
So what we normally do is take care of oneself and forget about others. Not care about others, so forget about others. And that's the thought that we have to change now. Instead of taking care of oneself only, you take care of others. And instead of forgetting others, you forget about yourself.
이 나네 자다 소소라 때 녀거든지 왔다 대가서 내가 쳐요 이제 소소라 녀거든지 대다 코코나 bed코나 코 가서 이제 와. 생가도 미션바 배나 이게 러 배나 리갈 배나 졸로라 따사 신도도 가서 코 가로 야와케 돌아마다 지와케도 그러다 샤샤로 와. 나도 내가 연구요 말어.
So what we forget about are the people who are especially causing problems for us, right? Who are pressing our buttons. So those kind of people. Otherwise, people, the beings, in the wild, like the wild animals, who are eating grass and plants, in the forest, we have nothing. We don't care about them. We don't forget about them.
다른 집에나 미드라나 배나 자가 미드도 자가를 열다 대 콘소 가서라 뉴스네 지금은 가서 콜라 뉴스 팬도 토말 곧 소스케 왜 말이야 샤라샤라.
And also among the people, like people in India, who are not very close with us, people all the way on the outside of the world, they don't bother us, so we don't have caring or forgetting towards them.
Okay, like that this thing they'll come in later. We just try to whatever you like. Today I told you guys try to a little bit meditate when you have time. Even if you just lay down, it's okay. Just try to a little bit. Okay. Yes, Bob.
I have a little trouble understanding the part where the teaching is first kept secret, and then why it would be made public. If there was a good reason to keep it secret, what would change? That's
a good question.
Sometimes I've heard sometimes teaching is secret because it's not appropriate for everybody. They can misunderstand and get the wrong idea. And then, so then when that becomes public, I wonder, I have trouble. Sorry.
Okay. Do you guys have any answers? Maybe Deborah? Maybe Laura? Margaret?
Maybe the times are different.
Times different?
The time of just like the basic time of year, the time of, like right now we're in the 21st century. Maybe there is a reason now that we need to hear it. Maybe we didn't need to hear it back then, or we couldn't understand it back then, but maybe there's a reason now that we need to hear it. That's just a guess.
Okay. Jennifer? Okay, Mary.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because go ahead, Mary.
I think that whomever said that, I think that, and this is of course a guess, that it was necessary to share this with others because of how the world is.
Okay.
And maybe with awareness of people, that it would be given to people as they get to be of a certain age, that they can understand it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Jennifer?
Well, I was just thinking about the teaching when you said that Geshe Tenley said that it was so helpful for him when he read in Langyu Tengpa's A Verses of Mind transformation about giving the victory to others, that he thought it was so important that he thought that everybody need to hear those teachings.
Okay. Then who? Margaret?
Right, yeah, and then following what Jennifer has said, isn't it only after that then the 7-point mind training system was developed? So before that, doing Tonglen was just maybe through, the instruction is more tantric, like tantra meditation, and not everybody is suitable for that. But after that, then the 7-point mind training system was developed. Maybe then it becomes like more people can learn to use it.
Okay.
Mm.
Any other people? I think you guys are good guess. My guess is like that. I don't have much special guess. 나도 가자도 구바니 잖아. 아니 가자 구바니 잖아. 배나 구바디 마요나 고 가자디 샤네. 아니 구바디 direction도 고 용어로.
So, you just compare with the positive and negative effects of that, right? So if again, that can be still negative, but what is more positive? If you see more positive, then you go with that. If you see more negative, then you go with that. So in this case, just like Jennifer said, it was more helpful. He saw it's very helpful for him. Then it can be also helpful for people like him. And therefore, he thought it would be good to be taught to others.
네, 다 내가 고성화 가지고 잘하는 간지 다 뭐지 제도에서 말다. 제도 말은 근데 다 소소가 자고도 소소니 삼도 저자는 당원이 제 마토 라이전이 오 말았어. 제 마토가 고 야고 가자 마이다 고 상화지셔 되는 로맨도.
제 마토가 좀 많이 받지 제당 넣을 수.
오야 제당 넣으냐 가지 되냐 샘 다장도 돈을 고면 가야 가지 배나 이제 동아라라 랩선다 되게야 소소 샘바 맞지 와요. 대자 아니 계속라도 라마서 수준도라야 멜론도 같이 검지 아니 이제 동안에 되나는 좀 성성 수소장 말에 맞지 고리 송도와 제가 어떠냐 제가 만나네요 서로와.
So like you said, Bob, the reason why it was banned or not given to the public, it was kept secret, is because of the misunderstanding that people might have when you do this practice of, especially like Tonglen, where you take the suffering of others, upon yourself, and then give your happiness, to others. This is a very, courageous thing to do. Not anybody will be able to do that, right? Just even the thought, of that, scares people, so therefore it might mislead and taken the wrong ways, for people. And but later maybe when it was given, explained in a well, and if you say just take the suffering upon yourself, then you get scared. Then then maybe later some teachers, they develop this method or technique, of visualizing like a mirror, on your heart, at your heart. So where you visualize the taking the suffering of others and all dissolve into that, not to yourself, but dissolve into that, and like that. So when you do that, then maybe it doesn't scare that much, And so that kind of things made it possible for people to be able to do it later.
So I have another question about the secrecy. So if it was, I think, Longri Tempa had composed this text. So if he composed a text, it wasn't really secret, because he had written it down. So
Yeah, of course he wrote it, but he didn't, like published it, to the public, at that time. It was written and then kept it in a secret and passed it down to only like specified, disciples, who he thinks, can do the practice. That's my opinion also. I haven't seen it like that, but that's my opinion.
아니 단다 구글은 저다 사회가 땅하 버가리 고나 페샤 가르고나 마차라고도 와. 제가 다 대사 니마 상와도 다 대사 고 상와치다 메와차다.
So like the tantra practice, is supposed to be like a secret practice, but nowadays it's all exposed. So everything you look in the Google, you can find everything. All the practices, all the deities, everything you can find. So it's no more secret.
제가 다 되게 잡라 전에 다 대상 안 돌아야. 아니 문제된데 냠len 대체는 똑반대 토에서 가도 좀 누구도면도 문제를 하디 셰세사다 아니 문제가 지다 똑반대도 좀 도에면도 제가 다고 아니 가세마 잡라 가로 제나 아니 니바도 총으로 서와.
So that's the reason, because there's no secrets left, and then nobody's taking it seriously. It's all like very easy access, and anybody can have, so nobody's really taking it seriously. So that's why nowadays you don't find anybody, with the realization. So did you hear anybody nowadays, who did a practice and who had this and this realization and so forth? It's very difficult to hear that, people who have gained realization through this practice of tantra. That's because the secrets is loose, it's open, so therefore it's very difficult, to gain the realization.
제가 다 들으면 다 되게만 있는 것도 그나 예덤 찍어 라마한테나 다 될라야 현지 버스라 야직 소탄 조성한테 들은 뭐뭐 요다 대상 단 더블링 단 가도 저다 강가도 고고에 말다 됐다 고야면다 시다 대사 고고나 다 대사 내들을 찍셔는 니마 찍어 더블링 잡으려고도 하.
So otherwise in the past, you always have this teacher disciple passing down and then the disciple really focus on that practice, gaining the realization, and you say, oh, such and such person had a direct vision of such and such deity, or the deity, the pictures of the deity on such and such temple spoke to somebody like that, or there was a change in the posture of the statue and like that, So you can see that, they hear that, things like that, but nowadays you don't hear that at all. Nobody, you don't hear that. Everything is very open, and nobody, gains realization in that way.
제가 고 자초진에 가세 샤워도 콜라야 자초에다 콜라야 가로 대사지 가로 단 통해서 가요. 그 자초처럼은 공통라도 그래.
So how much sacred, not secret, but sacred, you regard that object, that much value it will have. If you don't see that per object as a sacred, then you don't, then it will lose the value.
제가 대주는 게 전화도 대주 주자죠. 다 말해서 주자는 많아요. 배나 전화도는 다 대사 배나 어디 배제 마당 주님도 요 말고. 제가 대나나야 단 점점 수수 자와다 안에들이 다 가왕 옷이들이 짜들이 지나 안에 담보도 거야 뭐 아니 지지는 거 자왕군이 이발에 지지는 거는 많이 발에 텔레 차를 맞춰가지고 소소소 샤샤다 약속을 해. 배내가 통송. 아니 가시게 변나 자와 안에 그 바바 거는 인도도 지네요. 근데 다 저도 지제인다 다 지제된 데가 제도고 야 저기 안담라요 제가 딱 문에 소인다 주마스에 막고는 도도는 데가 맞잖아 야요래.
And also, this is my opinion, I just want to mention that because everybody have access to Facebook nowadays, right? So none of you maybe don't have a Facebook account, right? So everybody has. And when you see somebody, you see all kinds of people in the Facebook. Some people, they appear as monks or nuns, and then you ask them or you chat with them, ask them question or chat with them. And then you get, so you don't know who that person is. Maybe there could be just a fake monk or nun, just wearing a robe, of monk and nun, but not really monk and nun with the knowledge, of the Dharma. And then you chat with them, and then you get all these wrong informations or misleading information like that, and that's a risky, danger. So better not chat at all. So unless you really know that, monk or nun who has the real knowledge of the Dharma.
아, 근데 전에 양 잠잠배나 양 저거는 뒤전에 양 그냥 내처럼 가도 좀 나도 야가나 배다 무슨 지진 곳을 다 가지 벤조다 간지 걸라 강에 주는 매바다 아메리카도 넘쇼 대화전에 쉬 뜨기 어려 야 가지 양 근데 대화전에 용 삼네 양 대용이 어려지 그래서 사업체가 빼는 거도
Yeah, so be careful, to chat with such people like that. Like I said, before that, and like in India and Tibet, like people, think that Americans or the Westerners are very rich. They have money falling from the tree like that, and so they think, and then they also will, respect and believe in the monks and nuns, so they can disguise as monks and nuns and then try to get things from you like that. So it could be like that. I'm just saying it could be. So be careful with that.
하나지게 하나 가서 가고 가시배는 누우시는 딱 못됨으로 같은데 자제간의 파티 church 아니 오늘 파티 가오자 아니 그 자사 데마다 안에서 데마도 아니 자활론도 아니 론도 되는 방법이 소속이 깨지듯이는 약보여 말이야.
And then when sometime you chat with the real monks and nuns, and then you chat and then become close with each other, feeling wise, and then sometimes they disrobe, for your sake, if the monks or nuns they disrobe, then that's not good. If you serve as a condition for them to disrobe, then that's not good.
제자까지 아니 전에지나는 봐줘된 거니 멤버나 되네야 색다 남부터 배제다나 전화를 알레 자와도 들라도 안에서 들려야 소소 삼라야 야 남독제야다 내가 단다 전화 자와 안에 야보에서 야보 삼나도 고말란도 그래 근데 소소 경우라 그래.
And then also if they speak, carelessly, say things, like bad things to you, then you might get, this is the monks and nuns are talking like that. The monks and nuns are so bad. Like that. Whatever good image you had about the monks and nuns, then you lose that, and then you have this negative, idea about the monks and nuns. Then that's not good.
제가 나도 니나라 가려서나 니나 세리얼 삼나 코 세르코라 세샤네 좀마다 그 얘기 샤잖아 다스도 세르님 삼데네 야슈타 테레.
So if somebody says there's a gold in this cup, and then you just, but you don't see it, right? You don't see it. Somebody says there's a gold, and you just believe that's a gold. Then better leave it and just think there, just leave it like that, thinking that there's gold inside the cup.
제가도 가로 skillful that 뺏는 거로.
Yeah, being skillful is very important.
가지 노조가도 따지 제거 내가요. 가지야 따지 맞게 샤잖아 약속이야 드려.
Yeah, some things it is important to analyze, but something better not analyzed, just left it unanalyzed.
나도 나 카드워드 나도 똑바로에나 고무기 고 샤잖아 고트마샤라 가 말에. 고 돌마야 기잖아 고트마리 가네 참도 그러.
Like if you see a poop, on the street, just leave it there. It won't bother you, But if you just stir it, all the snaps.
제가 나도 가디나 스마트에 빼는 거죠. 어다 제가 다 대상 가와나 아니 더 여와 인자 아니 양 함도 빼나 가로 네거티브 쇼다는 네거티브 짱짱만 통고 말. 제가 양 소소를 뒤 바차 두어샤 용 같은데 그 야쇼 소소소 샤샤는 야쇼래.
So because it's very accessible nowadays, all these things. So therefore, better be careful. So if you don't have negative thoughts, then it's good, right? But if you but sometimes it can cause you to have negative thoughts. So then that's not good.
Okay, I just thought also some of the my students also we talk about like that. Therefore, this is also something maybe important for everyone just know like that. Okay. What time? Okay, that time's finished. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Guys, girls. Guys means include everyone, boys, girls. We have to say for guys and girls, we have to say both. You have to say both, or we say, okay, thank you guys, means everyone, or what?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm just kidding you.
I think so.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, now we can pray. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
We can pray.
Saji perke juxing me tok tram, re rab ling jing yi de gien pa di, sangye jing du mik te uwagi, drokun mam dak jing la chur par shu. Je tsun la me kut se rab ten ching, nam katrin le chok chur gi pa dan, lo san ten pe dren me sa sun gi, roe mun so tak tu neg yur chi. Idam guru ratnamandalakam niryatayami. From my two collections, vast space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Ayana and virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained the Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. May say may ter chen rezi, dream yen bei wang po jam pel yang, gang chen ke pei su gen song kapa, o sang grang pei Jabla Solvade. Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Namchula.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Jangchub. Thank you, Bob.
Gracias.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jangchub.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
Geshe.
You guys very, very far like that.
Your individual meetings. Bye.
Bye.